where we were right about there as far as what I am even live talking about. So, a couple of days ago, like Wednesday. Well, let me just rewind the tape. I'm gonna make this story that you guys can go video though. I'm gonna just make it long and short as I can, and the outcome of it and things like that. So, anyway, what ended up happening, reason why I'm furious and everything, and I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm sad, and I'm in a lot of counseling, and I'm hurt, I'm angry, everything, is because my mom, she passed away in 2023, May 2023, Mother's Day. And when she passed away, everything about her death, her funeral, and her burial was all real shifty by this funeral home. And I'm one of them type of people that I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight for what I believe in, because that's how my dad was and that's how my mom taught me. My parents did not roll over and die and all that kind of stuff if they knew that they was in the right. Because especially for my dad was a military man, hardcore, like I'm talking about militant. And if my dad thought that there was things that was not right, then he would make it a point to get it right. My dad was a very no-nonsense type of a person, and so was my mom. They did not play. My husband is no nonsense. He do not play, but especially about his family. And so it had been taking me all this time to be able to even open my mouth and talk about the pain that I was in and what had happened with my mom's mishandling of her body, her funeral, everything, the mishandling. Probably, I believe, now I'm starting to believe mishandling of money, because I believe that I paid for things that I just didn't get, or I don't know what to think, but I believe it all. It's possible now. Now I'm at that point where I believe anything can be true when it comes to this funeral home. So what ended up happening is that now that I have my voice, these people, I haven't said nothing in 2.5 years since my mom passed away. Now that I have my voice and I'm able to say something and I'm able to speak up and talk about something that has traumatized me to the next level, that at times felt like it was going to take me out. But now that I'm able to talk about this mishandling, then people in Colorado are real haters for the most part. It's like black on black hate is what goes on out here. It's, you could do okay. So yeah, Colorado has a lot of hate out here. Hello, hi. Hi there. But anyway, Colorado has a lot of people who hate on each other, and it's mainly in the black community. If you thought black people was divided wherever you may be living at, you may have thought wrong, because out here is nothing but just people just want to compete against each other and just see, can I win? Can I win? Win at what? You need to try to get closer to God and win that relationship. That's what you need. And I do too. I need to get as close to him as I possibly can. Because on that video, I was, yeah, I did. I was going ballistic. And at this time, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. For those of you who have seen that 2-hour video, I'm not in the position where it would be sincere if I were to just say, I'm sorry about my behavior, in this couple of days ago. I know that I have to get to that point, and I need to get to that point very soon, because we don't know when our turn is coming where we're going to pass on and we're going to the other side. And I want to be with God when I live this whole world here. I do not want to be sitting up here roasting because I can't stand, his children and things of that nature. So with that being said, I just I let it be known what was really going on and what was really had been popping basically with this situation with my mom. I mean, yeah, I was going on. And then there were people, they act like I'm so disappointed in her. You handled what you got to handle about your mom. You handle what you got to handle about your mom and your family now. But, hold on, my aunt was trying to reach me, but it's okay. But, why don't you think I should drive? I drive where I want. Shoot, I ain't got no chauffeur. So, here's what else this was going on, right? So, I had lost my mind. But it was more like where I could just cry and I could let it out and I could just release this. Because I've been in therapy, releasing it and having some things to say about what has happened and this type of thing. But I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it no more because I'm hot on this man's, where the back end of him is. I'm hotter than fish grease. And now I know exactly what steps to take next and things like that with this man, because I'm not playing. I never will be playing that game about my family. So then, there's just one, there's people who's going to say what they have to say, and they have their opinion. They have their own experiences with this mortician, because he's the only black mortuary in town, or a person of color in town. I guess he thinks he's not black, but anyway. Needless to say, we done turned around. And I got a lot of hate and a lot of love and a lot of support, because there's a lot of people who ain't playing. They're not playing about the same mortician. They're not playing. They've had some serious, serious bad experiences that people are now reaching out to me to tell me about. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, is this a class action suit, possibly? Because to me, see, it's like I said, this is a principle thing. This is not money. But I know how people who are real greedy and stuff, you can't kick them in the you-know-what to the where. So when that happens, you got to kick them in their wallet. Kick them where it hurts. Because when they miss something, it's the money. That's what they're sitting up there missing. But, that's all I can do. Because I can't do nothing else to this man. What am I going to do to this fool? This is one of them people that I bet even if he was being robbed, he wouldn't even come up off his wallet. And the wallet probably could have a $2 bill on it. He don't want to come up off his wallet, so he'll let somebody just take him out. Take his whole life to take the wallet. That's how stingy this nigga probably is. And I'm sorry to say that word, but that's what it is. That doesn't mean black person. But I shouldn't be using that word. But I can't, it hurts me so much. But what I'm understanding is that when you guys go through stuff, you gotta fight these people. You don't have to fight with your fist. You gotta fight for what you know is right. And when I talk about it, it's not as hard as you think to do. I filed a lawsuit against a man on my own. On my own. And he bought him a lawyer, so I tore his ass up in court. Because I'm not playing your game. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like this is something I can ignore anymore. I can't ignore it no more. I'm in too much pain, and every day I write justice for mom. Somewhere. You're weird. Please don't message me. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. If something's going on with your children, let me tell you what to do. If you having some problems with the school district and stuff, and you're your parent, you take your butt up to that school and you skip every single teacher. Unless you really feel like the teacher's going to do something to help your child through. And what I mean by that is if the principal even stuttered like they can't help your kids, you take your butt to the superintendent. If that don't work, you go to the city council. If that ain't work, you go to your state rep. And you just continue up, 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 up. And you worry the hell out of people. You don't let people get away with dogging you and mistreating you and doing any kind of way by you and your family and stuff. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Because I was that person. My life went like this. When I'm a little kid, oh, I was the sweetest little kid. And I know I was, and that ain't in no bragging way. I just was. I was a very, very sweet, sweet child. And then after being a sweet child, I started as a teenager realizing how this world was and how people are, and that they always want to try something. They want to, even friends as a teenager, and people that you think love you, family or something, they'll say little backwards kind of compliment type stuff that's really an insult more so. Don't tolerate it. Don't tolerate it. Check people at the door immediately. When somebody's disrespectful towards you, let them know what you will and not tolerate or take. Because guess what? You don't have to take it. You don't have to take no mess from nobody. That's up to you. If you're going to let somebody run over you and run over your family. So, like, for instance, if a doctor is causing some problems, there's this people in their Department of Regulatory Agencies, you report that doctor. You know what I mean? You don't take no doctor's mess. Just because that's a doctor and you think they know your health, let them medical malpractice you, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. So I'm a fight at the hands of doctors. And I'll take you for everything you damn got. I'll take all of your money. Messing with my family. I will. I'll take your companies. I'll take everything that you think you got going on. Hide it. You better put it down there in Panama City. Wherever that meant. Wherever you're from, homeboy. Because I'm after you next. And I don't lose.